Gods. I hated Colchis. I hated the heat. I hated the dust and the thick sweat of it. Even before I knew that other worlds existed, I cursed the gods for making my home so unbearable. There's a reason why religions prosper in deserts. There's nothing else to do but ponder the misery. I used to sit in the shadow of my father's house, squatting as the air shimmered, and wait for scorpions to scuttle out of the glare. I'd catch them in my bare fingers and hold them up, watching them wriggle. I'd pluck their limbs off one by one. Sometimes I'd get stung, sometimes I wouldn't. It was a kind of game, though not a very good one. Once, a sting made me feverish for a month, leaving me boiling on my mat inside with visions and shaking. I might have died. I didn't care much either way. Once I'd recovered, I was sitting right back out in the porch, waiting for the next one to scamper into range. Ever since then, I've played the same game. Get close to the danger. See how long you can last before it bites you. It doesn't matter which town that was. I can barely remember it myself. They were all the same, thick with filth and haze and the stink of perspiration and refuse. My parents were exasperated with me. They wanted me to learn a trade, get ahead, find something useful to do. I didn't want any of that. I wanted to be rich without trying. I wanted to have slaves and concubines. I wanted to play my scorpion game with people. For a long time, it wasn't clear how I would be able to achieve that. But fate had a way of leading me into opportunity. I had noticed, being an observant sort, that the Covenant had become the kind of organization I might do well in. It is fashionable now among those who still pretend to keep records and tell histories to think of the Covenant as some wellspring of piety, the precursor to the fundamental religion that came later. Perhaps it was, in some places. Maybe in Varadesh they did things properly. Out in the provinces, though, the priests had begun to develop a reputation. They drank, they gambled, they were violent, and they used that violence to gather up riches. Even the devout knew that the tithes they paid didn't all end up embellishing temples. The whole edifice was like a spoiled aquifer with a cold and oily heart locked away from the searching light of the sun. So you can understand the attraction. I could see myself in those robes, with a palace of my own where a fountain would tinkle in the courtyard and a chamber full of young things would lounge around in silks and count my coins. Getting there was not straightforward, though. For all their decadence, the clerics held onto power with a rictus grip of a fresh corpse. Only the well-connected were sent to the seminaries and taught the rites and shown how to read the old texts. For street trash, like me, there was just penury to look forward to. I didn't give up, though. The idea had entered my head, and it stuck there.